Hi guys, welcome to the next instalment of F is for Fun. Yes, it really is for fun. Anyway, what I've decided to do this time is, those of you that have seen previous videos will notice that I had commented that I was going to do a separate video on replacing the heater air intake unit. Well, this is that video. So after doing a little bit of reading around and what have you on how to do it, and thanks to my mate Gareth, who's actually convinced me I really should do it and not try and kid myself that it really isn't leaking, I think, as I might have mentioned in my previous video, that it's probably not leaked when I've been testing it, because we haven't had continual rain. It's almost as if the seal has to get completely saturated before it starts leaking through. That's my latest assumption. So going on those lines, I'm not going to wait to prove it. I am just going to start replacing it now and then order a new one online. So what have we got to do to start with? One of the things we've got to do is to remove the glove box to get to the screws and bolts behind it. We're going to have to take the heater vent pipe off to get to another screw. Then we can lift the heat vent away and we can actually see whether we have had a leak in there at some point. That'll be interesting. And then the next stage is to go under the bonnet and start taking as many screws out as we can before we then decide how we're going to reduce the height of it to get it between the scupper plate, scuttle plate, call it what you will, and the servo. There's two ways of doing it. I can either cut the unit down in half, or I can release the bolt for the servo. For the servo. We'll have a look at that when we get there. So just for you guys now, let's have a little look at what I'm going to be doing in here, and then I will update you when it's done. Okay, glove box. Glove box comes out, I believe. One screw there, another screw on the other side, and then once we get to that, there should be a connector for the lights, etc. I think it's four connections, electrical connections that have to come out. So yeah, right, here's the connectors I was talking about. The red one goes on the inside, black one, black and green on the outside, and on these two here, this one here is the one for the right hand side of that one, and this one here is the one for the left hand side of that one, just so we make sure that they go the right way when we put them back. Here we go, let's have a little look, see what we have up there. Alright, so I'll put the bolts back, I'll put the screws back in for the glove box. There, I'm pointing at, whoa, let me see if I can get in there and touch it. Okay, so that there is where the vent was actually attached to that. Now, there's absolutely no sign of any damp getting in there. What I do have over here is a bit of damp in there. A bit of damp up behind there. As it tracks along, that is wet and soggy. Sorry, not wet and soggy, that is compressed, which suggests it might have come loose under the weight of water. What is a suspicious sign is that I found that this bitty here has been off before, because it wasn't even fully done up, which means the vent has been off before. I think that's safe to say. Okay, so where do we go then? Let's have a little look-see. Okay, I'm going to carry on with what I'm doing. There's a couple more things that have to be done from under here. There's one there that's got to come out and one underneath there that's got to come out, so I'll carry on taking them apart whilst I'm in here, and then we'll get on the fun bit under the bonnet. Box. Okay, there it is there. So that's where it come off there. Okay. And I should add, actually, everything is a 10mm. So 10mm bolt there, 10mm bolt. Where's it gone? There, and a 10mm bolt up, just up behind that one there. I found it easier with a ratchet spanner than a socket, to be perfectly honest. Now, interesting, what I've also found is further up inside there, I found it's damp. So I need to look at what that could be coming from the outside, which is a bit concerning as well. I'm committed to changing this anyway, so we'll get this changed. I'm going to leave the glove box off, and then we shall see whether there's any other leaks. Okay, for now. Okay, so whilst looking around under there, look what I found. I have found this, you see there. Still can't get in there easily with me there, can you? But look, that's loose in there, and it appears to be a broken grommet or something that I think might let water in. I might be wrong, but anybody got any ideas on that one? Morning guys. Okay, carrying on with the task in hand. We have to completely remove that unit. Now, one more bolt to go on that front. Once it's out and I've got the unit out, then of course we're going to be open to the elements. Typically, the weather at the moment is somewhat overcast, and I'm a little bit worried about opening it up and exposing it to rain that's going to come in. Okay, so what's the options? Well, we put up with it and then put a sheet over it and try our best, or I erect a temporary workshop stroke car cover stroke garagey type thing. Tempted to go down that route, so watch this space. If you see a big green thing up in a minute, you know I've gone down that route. If you don't, and you see a rather fed up looking chap with a white passenger footwell, then you know that I went down the wrong route. Okay, catch up soon. Hi guys, so Thursday evening I ordered a replacement one of these. I ordered the Snorkel one for the MGTF from MG Owners Club Spares and Repairs, I think that's what it's called. Spares and Accessories. This morning, Saturday morning, it arrived, 10 o'clock. Absolutely brilliant. Here it is. So, it's even arrived before I've got the cover up on the on temporary garage thingy for the car. So, I need to get the old one out completely now. Okay, so presently there's only one bolt left securing it in, and it is that one right up under there. Under the, I don't know, behind the survey, underneath. It's an absolute nightmare. You need to get under the car, I think, to actually get up there with a very long extender to have half a chance of actually undoing it. Then you've still got to either move the servo forward to get the unit out, or you've got to cut it off. So I'm going to cheat and I'm going to cut it off now. What I'm going to do is start cutting it all the way along there using these, because it's so much more fun than using a hacksaw blade, and hopefully then I can cut it down and actually get to the bolt from the top and unwind it. We'll see. Let's see what happens. Watch this space. Okay, so got a little hole in there just so out of interest I can have a look at what's going on inside. You can see. Okay, so that there is seeing through to the car where it goes into the inside area. It's interesting. There's quite a bit of moisture and water in there, which makes me wonder how effective that defector plate really is on the top of it. Okay, I'll carry on to see where we go. So you can see what happens there. Look at where the or soundproofing or whatever you want to call it is. It's in a position there where if that seal should leak, it's going to get soaking wet. So let's have a look at what that seal was like. Okay, that is the back of it. So that is a seal that was resting up on that. As you can see there, I would suggest there's evidence there and across here that we have had water ingress and it has been trekking. That's history now. Let's get the new one in. Finally, I can honestly say that was an absolute nightmare to get that in. So what I've also done, just in case, is I've taken the opportunity to put some silicone around it as well, so it ain't going to leak at all now. Well, I hope not anyway. I've also, where I found that thing up under there, that I wasn't sure what it was, I've put a plastic ring around it which has got some silicone on, and what that can do, I can put a lid on that to stop any water ingress from the top until we work out exactly what it is. It looks like some sort of bleed nipple or something, but maybe it's bleed nipple for the heating? I don't know. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it sooner or later.